Thank you, Adam. All right, we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. First item on the agenda is approval of our minutes from our previous meeting. You've all received a copy of those minutes. Would there be any changes or recommendations, or is there anything about it to accept?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Wilson, second by Wilson. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Carries. Next item on the agenda then will be our second reading of the budget amendment. This was for the $1 million senior housing grant that we received, that was not received by the time we passed our budget. So we need to amend that to accept this $1 million grant into our budget.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Strunk, second by Wilson. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. Next item then, it's a little tricky the way we're doing this today. Because of the restrictions of COVID-19 in our meetings, we have gone to a live stream meeting for our public. And we have a public hearing, the purchase of our Mack trucks. And we advertise this in the paper, but because of the restrictions on public gatherings, we're going to do this a different way. We have, if you're watching via Facebook Live, we will be taking comments at this time regarding this public hearing. And also would like to open up a phone line for you to call in if you have questions. I don't anticipate this public hearing lasting very long, so if you do have questions, please try to send them in a timely manner here. But I'm going to give you a phone number here that you can call. Would be 606-305-6326. Again, that's 606-305-6326. Or you can submit your questions in Facebook Live, and we will respond if there are any. So we'd like to open this public hearing for the purchase of Mack trucks. And the reason we do this is because we go over the threshold limit of $500,000, and when we purchase something that large, it requires a public hearing. So we did advertise this in the newspaper, and so we will give the public time to respond here. Let's give a.
The public meeting has to be separate from fiscal court.
No, it can be there in the fiscal court.
But the minutes have to be documented.
Yes, Amber's taking care of the minutes.
Okay.
We've got that taken care of.
Yeah.
Let's give 2 minutes enough time for public response.
Can we, while we're waiting, can we explain to the general public why we're doing this and the benefit of us doing this versus the benefits of, where I know we're looking at buying these and reselling them in 2 years or whatever, but can you explain to the general public exactly why we're doing this and the benefits of doing it now, buying new vehicles versus,
You want to explain it?
well, you're the judge, I'm gonna let you.
This is what the court voted to do, so we're.
Right, but
you
I mean,
voted to
just for
spend
the,
money, so-
just for the general public, can you explain exactly, we're buying these vehicles to save our maintenance, right?
We buy the vehicles so that we can do the work for our road department,
Right,
right?
uh-huh,
And we have a program where you buy them, and then they pull them out at a certain time when they think the market value is going to be highest. We take them to auction, and 3 times out of 4 we have benefited from it. The one time we didn't, we went to the auction at the wrong time. So this has been a program that's worked well for us, and it's something that you as a court voted for, so that's why we do it.
I'm just asking for the general public, because I've had phone calls and myself, and I just wanted to explain why we're doing it. We're actually replacing them every so often. For one, it saves us on maintenance costs of having an older truck. And the other one is actually we benefit by reselling them. And we actually save money back towards
When we purchase them at a very good price because we're government. Prices the public cannot.
Hey,
public
Judge,
cannot get when we sell
let
them,
me,
we
sorry
have-
about that, let me speak to the vehicles.
Years ago, Mark, and you've got a really good question, and we appreciate it. In 2016, you had probably the worst snowstorms that we ever encountered. And at that point in time, we had antiquated equipment. And the magistrates at that time, we were looking for opportunities not only to help the citizens in our community, but also provide the best equipment for our employees to make it safe all the way around. One of the best things that we encountered was Worldwide Equipment, and they do this program statewide. Is they offer tandem trucks, and they are at interest only for a given year. And that being said, we have a contract annually with JM Wood in Alabama. So we have a guarantee every year that we sign for the value of the vehicles. But in the last 3 years, not only have we offset that interest-only payment that we're making, we've also been able to sell the vehicles with a surplus of funds. So the first year, when we got rid of the 5 trucks, we got a surplus check of $45,000. And so we was able to put that back in line item for lease equipment. This past year, because of the pandemic and the shortfall in the budget, we opted to lessen the fleet, just for the fact is we didn't know where we're going to be in this fiscal year, so we're down 1 vehicle. But the purpose of it is a lease program. It's interest only, and is it government pricing, and so we have to do this, have an annual meeting with the public input. But the issue with that is when you're doing with this pandemic and social distancing and people working from home, there's a delay from the paperwork that we submit to Frankfurt and Arcaco and the time we get the paperwork back. And that causes some issues at the local level, but we try to do our best to work through this. And that's why we're crunched with the public hearing. And then at 1 o'clock, we'll have a hearing with DLG, Zoom, to where we have to take depositions and so forth, making sure that these vehicles are for a public purpose and things like that. But it's a great program.
Tell them we can post, I'll give it to Ross, the information, if anyone wants to watch the Zoom meeting or call in on it.
Yeah, we can post the Zoom meeting at 1. So, and the information, we can put that out online as well. But we added a recycle truck that if you look over the last 5 years, not only did it put when they auctioned the vehicle off in Alabama, not only did it take care of the interest payment, it also put surplus monies back into our line item of lease equipment.
I appreciate that description. I just want the general public to understand why we keep purchasing all these trucks and all that. But also, like, they're fully warranted, right?
Yes.
So we don't have to pay for the repairs of these trucks, correct?
We don't put a wrench to them. They're serviced every month. Service is in the contract. And if anything happens, they're warranted.
So that's another advantage of doing this program. I'm for the program because I know it's saving us money in the long run. I just wanted the public to understand the program.
Yes.
So.
And I totally understand that, because when they look at a county investing in over $500,000, is the reason why we're having the hearing is, we're concerned about the taxpayers and as well. But the main purpose is to provide the best equipment for our employees, so we can improve our service in the community. Because fortunately, we're the 3rd largest geographical county in the state of Kentucky, but I think we have the #1 road miles that we maintain, and it's a challenge every year. It's even more of a challenge, but I promise you, with this people in this room, we do a great job working together, trying to solve common problems.
once again, thank you for explaining it.
Have there been any comments, Ross, on the Facebook Live?
Nothing on Facebook.
All right, and then do we need to take a vote at this hearing or just close the meeting? We don't need a vote.
I don't think there's any vote that required in.
No.
Are you closing the hearing at this point in time?
Well, if you all are ready, we'll go ahead and close this public hearing.
Make sure the minutes reflect the time it was closed.
Okay, we've closed the public hearing at 10:15 Eastern Time.
Close the hearing. With no opposition, do we need to let the minutes reflect that?
Yeah, because her minutes would say, her minutes should reflect if anyone contacted us. Nobody did, so. Yep.
Thank you, and sorry we had to do it that way, but it's just, we're in a strange time, and we're all learning new things every day and how to act with this pandemic and try to be productive and take care of our county the best we can. So thank you all. Okay, we'll move on to new business. Have a few items. First thing I need to do is I think you've got a copy of a petition to annex. What this is, it's a Western Pulaski Water District where they're doing infrastructure around the 914. They have a piece of property that they purchased years ago that they planned on putting a pump station on, but they're trying to clear up their boundaries a little bit, so they need us to advertise their intention to annex that property that they own into their district. So all we need is permission to advertise their public hearing that they're going to be having for their annexation.
Question. Why would we be paying for an advertisement for,
Because the law says you have to.
for a
Law
water
says you
association?
have
Okay,
to.
thank you.
Motion to advertise?
Second.
A motion by Strunk, a second by Wilson. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Next then would be, I need to reappoint Naoka Golson to the Woodstock Community Center Board for a 4-year appointment.
Motion. Second.
Have a motion by Wilden, a second by Turpin. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Then we have been given a copy of a phone service contract from Unified Technology, and basically this is the company that provides all the support and service for our phones and our switches. And if we have a problem, they are the ones that come in here and fix these problems for us. And we've had this company, I guess, since before I was here, but they're wanting to renew coverage, and basically I'll need permission to enter this contract with them, either a 1-year, 3-year, or 5-year, and we'll just have to.
Ross, has this company been good to work with?
They're real good at support.
Haven't had any problems or anything?
Do we want to do just a 1 year, Ross? I mean,
I'd like to, at the time, due to
2 year?
pandemic and the,
I don't think.
Motion.
there's an option. It's more, it's like it's 1, 3, and 5.
yeah.
Well, so you want to do 3?
You said due to the pandemic.
I didn't know, I
Yeah,
really,
she
I'm
didn't
sorry,
say
I
so.
meant do the 1 year,
Oh, okay.
due to, that's what I said.
Okay.
That's where, yeah.
Okay.
Due to the pandemic.
Yeah.
Motion, we do 1 year?
Second.
Motion by Strunk and second by Turpin to enter into a 1-year contract with Unified Technologies. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next then, we have an ethics commission that has 3 members, and one of those members has resigned from the commission to pursue a city council position, and the other 2 commission members' terms have expired. We need to reappoint the ethics commission. I would like to recommend 3 names to serve on that commission for, it'll be a 4-year term, a 3-year term, and a 2-year term. We'll have to if you all just let me have the freedom to figure out who will serve 4 and 3 and 2, I'll give you the names. First one would be Tammy Anger. Second one would be Ben Williams. And the third one would be J.J. Graybill.
Motion.
Second.
A motion by Wilson and a second by Wielden. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, and we were going to have a presentation here today by Ms. Tina Cawthorn, but because of our restrictions on the meeting here, we've got a video. I believe Ross and Jason have worked on putting this together to show the court. The program is called Queen for a Day, and if you all remember, we actually helped them last year. They do it's a wonderful program where they work with underprivileged females to, and they work with the community to get donations from court, from the city council, and various businesses here in the community. And what they do is they basically invite these ladies in and they spend time with them. They actually love on them, pamper them, give them opportunities to network together and to have friendship support. And it's just it's been a good thing. And they work a lot with the ladies that are in the jails and bring them out. And just basically just shows compassion from this segment of the community. And they would like to show this video to us today.
Some days you're tired of trying to measure up. You see a girl who's not enough. When you look in the mirror, some nights all you wanna do is hide. 'Cause every time you look inside, you're face to face with failure.
Prior coming to jail, my relationship with Jesus wasn't very strong. I had only went to church as a child, and it was only when I was with my grandma. My parents partied and done drugs, and they still do. They fought, cheated, and was in and out of jail. Even though I vowed not to take my children down the same path and be the best parent and person I could be, eventually I started out with smoking pot, which led me to doing pills, leading me to sell and doctor shop to support my habits and my family. I've done a lot of things I'm not proud of, and even though I knew it was wrong, that's exactly what happened. I lied to myself. Most importantly, I never asked for help. I've never turned to God. I never set out to become an addict, a needle junkie, lose custody of my 2 girls who are 15 and 12, and a conviction list a mile long, including 2 trafficking charges. When I moved to Kentucky 5 years ago, I planned to start over, but I quickly made friends with the wrong people and got right back into old habits. The last trafficking charge I received, I got put on probation, and once I was put down to only reporting 3 months, I got my probation revoked with my second DUI. Being in jail gave me time to think. Because drugs had been a part of my life for so long, I hadn't dealt with all my issues. But it also saved me. I started going to church. I even got saved in jail and baptized. One day, Miss Weaver came and pulled me out of the kitchen and told me to be ready at a certain time. It was me and 5 other girls. and we were told we were going to get pampered for the day. I knew it was a joke. I knew my idea of getting pampered and hers were not going to be the same. We pulled into the Rural Development Center. The sign said, "Queen for a day." As we got out and walked up the stairs, all these nice ladies and gentlemen dressed to impress greeted us with hospitality and inspirational words like, "You matter, you're a queen." We were one of the first groups to arrive, and we all got name tags too. Still, I thought there was a catch. And as great as it seemed, I was embarrassed to be in the orange Pulaski County Detention Center uniform. But as more women came from where we learned, they were also from rehab, and most of them had probably been in my shoes. Still, the shame of the uniform lingered. But slowly, we started getting one-on-one pats on the back and words of encouragement. When the doors finally opened, all of our mouths dropped, and my heart filled with joy because we were being celebrated and being treated, and not having to clean up or serve like I thought was gonna happen. We were given an exquisite meal. The entertainment was the best part for me. All the stories made me cry, and I didn't see a dry eye at my table. The ladies told stories of abuse, death, drugs, jail, stories similar to mine, and I know the girls at my table too. But they weren't just stories, they were testimonies as to what God can pull you through if you just let Him. After the entertainment, we got our nails done, hair done, got to shop, we got flowers, chocolate, and pop. And some of us haven't had pop since we've been in jail. We also got our pictures made, and not one person seemed to even notice my orange uniform. Not one person made me feel out of place. It was the exact opposite. Every person that I came in contact with expressed their empathy and genuinely cared. I felt so special. I'll never forget that day, and you couldn't have wiped the smile off any of our faces. It was such a blessing to have been able to be a part of Queen for a Day. I truly felt like a queen. Once we came back to jail, all of our shopping items were sealed and given to us when we are released. And it wasn't the cheap generic things either. A lot of people put their hearts into making that day special for so many women. The jailer even said, since there were no issues with us participating, he would be more open-minded to allowing more things like this. And that's what women in jail need. They need to know people care. I've seen and heard a lot of things in jail, and God needs to be a part of it in order to stop this cycle. I hope I did well describing how it made me feel, but really, there are no words as to how special and loved I felt by so many women who cared and who didn't even know us, and still took the time out of their day to make our day. I know a lot of effort went into Queen for a Day, and I hope that it's able to continue. I want to personally thank you again for all that you've done. The world needs more women with hearts the size of the galaxy like you.
So with that video, that they are asking if we would support them once again in the amount of $1,000 to help put on their program, and my recommendation would be that we would do that conditioned upon they actually are allowed to hold the event, because there may be something with this COVID-19 where they can't have the event. So I would like to ask you all to make a motion to do that conditioned upon them actually being able to host the event.
Motion.
Second.
There's a motion by Ranshaw, second by Wielden. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And I just want to say about that program, and there's many programs around this community that just people give of themselves so much to help others. My pastor once said, he said, "You're never more like Jesus Christ than when you're serving others." And when I look around and I see people that give of their time and their efforts to serve others, it breaks my heart, melts my heart, and it restores my faith in humanity to see when people will give their time. And I know you as a court are very sympathetic to those causes as well, so I thank you all for what you've done today, and thank you to the program, Queen for a Day, and for what you all are doing in Pulaski County. All right. Next then, we'll move into our department reports. We have a road work request. I looked through, I didn't see any speed limit signs that required a separate vote, so we'll entertain a motion to approve the road work request.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Wilson, second by Strunk. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Carries. Next then we have Adam Scales, Animal Control Officer, would like to discuss personnel.
Good morning. Well, yesterday, we had a fine man retire. With that being said, that's kind of put us a little short-handed. I would like to request Kim Sears from part-time to full-time. And then the second thing would be request 2 part-time employees to be hired. One in Kim's spot, and then one we had before the pandemic, which we was closed down, so I didn't need the second one at the time. But now we're not getting inmates, and the way I understand it, we're not going to get inmates till after the first of the year. So we're pretty short-handed right now.
So first of all, you want to ask to move Kim Sears from part-time to full-time.
Yes, sir.
We would entertain a motion.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Strunk and a second by Wilden. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And then the second part of that, you want to advertise to fill
So, yeah.
2 part-times that
Yes, sir.
you're asking
Yes.
for?
Yes, sir. One would be to fill Kim's position that she's vacating, going to full-time. And then the second one, I had a position open before the pandemic hit. Then we closed. I didn't need the position at the time, but now we're pretty short-handed.
Have you got names for them, who you want?
No, sir, not yet.
You just want to
Just more or less
advertise.
advertise.
Motion to advertise for part-time help.
Second.
Motion by Strunk and a second by Ranshaw. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you, Ed.
I appreciate y'all.
Thanks, Adam.
I'm assuming we're gonna invite Marvin up here and have him a proper send-off.
Yeah, he got out on us. He wouldn't. He told me if we did anything like that, he was not going to show up that day. So.
For those of us who know Marvin, I didn't want to do anything before I actually saw it official that he resigned, because he's been saying this for years, so.
Yes, sir.
But, no, he's a good worker and we're gonna miss him, but.
Yes, sir.
Would like to get him up here and wish him a farewell. Next in, let's see, we have our solid waste, we have a.
Did we do road work?
Yes.
Yes.
Solid waste, we have a 930.1 ordinance cleanup. Danny, you want to speak to that?
All 3 of these properties are just yards that need to be mowed that have been neglected, or the homeowners have left the property.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Wielden, second by Strunk. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Next in will be our treasurer's report. Joan, would you like to take the microphone?
Oh, thank you. Okay, the first item I have is the bill list, first bill list for August. You should have all received it.
Copy of the bill list, what would be your pleasure?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Wielden, second by Strunk.
I have a question. On the bill list, there, on Pulaski Park, it looks like we added RV sites or camping sites.
Yes.
I'm just wondering why, in the time when we cut our budget by over $1 million, $2 million, we cut our smaller parks from 15,000 down to 5,000 for White Lily, Shopville, Woodstock, Firebrook. Why would we turn around and spend money on additional things for Pulaski Park when we've cut all these services, we made all these departments cut their funds, and then turn around and spend things on, in my opinion, something that should have waited until after this pandemic was over?
Well, when my administration first took over, we had a plan for Pulaski Park. We made a long-term plan. We've been working with the Corps of Engineers to implement our plan, and park is turned around. It's better. We are still going forward with our plan to make that the best county park in the state of Kentucky. That answer your question? We're moving forward with it.
I'm just saying that we asked all these departments to cut money for a budget, and then we turn around and we couldn't wait 1 year to put more RV spots in at Pulaski Park when we asked all of our smaller parks to cut their budgets.
During this time, there's not a lot of activities for families that they can go out and do right now, and it's very dangerous to travel anywhere, so a lot of people are opting to stay close to home, and this is quite frankly a great alternative for our families to be able to get out and spend time with their families and enjoy the outdoors in a safe environment, and I don't make apologies for that.
Have we opened up primitive camping at Pulaski Park County?
It is still not open.
Still not open, so people can't go set up a tent with their families and
The
They
thing about
can.
it, the
enjoy the day.
recreational vehicle, they are self-contained, they can have their own facilities, they can use their own facilities, their own showers, their own bathrooms, their own sinks.
So
We can't do that with
our
camping.
bathrooms and showers are not open at the PC Park.
They are at times whenever we get in there to take care of those and maintain them.
Mark, thank you for the question. Since Pulaski County and Somerset is considered the capital of Lake Cumberland, since 2016, we've been investing in tourism to promote people coming to our area, because fortunately for our county, that we live in and around the largest man-made water source east of the Mississippi. And people come here in thousands to see Lake Cumberland. And that's one of the reasons that we invested in the build grant to improve the clover leaf of 461 and 80, is because this is a tremendous economic incentive for our community. Now, we love all of our parks, and the ones you referenced are free space to get out and enjoy. But the difference in Pulaski Park, that's a tremendous revenue source for all of our parks, because we take that monies that's generated through that park, through RVs and camping, and invest them in our free parks. And most of the material that you have seen, majority of that was purchased in last year. And so one of the biggest demands is for people, it's a big trend for camping. And I don't want them to go to Dale Hollow. I don't want them to go Casey County. I don't want them to go to Russell County. I want them to come to Pulaski County. And we went from 2015, I think we had 30-some RV sites, to where we'll eventually be, we're over 100 RV sites right now. And it's a big trend in self-contained camping. It's free as far as, it's safe. The downside of that is primitive camping is because they're not self-contained. And because we have to close our bathrooms from time to time for longer periods to get them clean, to make them safe for all people, not just for RV people or primitive or anyone, but for everyone that visits any of our parks for that matter. But that is a big difference. And we can sit down with you after fiscal court and show you the revenue because not only does that park pay for itself, it also pays for the future investment in that park.
I'm just concerned that, we cut our budget and we cut all these departments. We laid off employees to try to save money, and then we turned around and invest in PC Park and spend money on something that, in my opinion, should have waited a year until the pandemic was
I'm
over.
going to stop you right there because we did a voluntary layoff.
Laid nobody off.
You made the motion to have a voluntary layoff, and they took it. It was not a forced layoff.
Well, we made a motion,
Make it sound like what it is.
we made a motion to do a voluntary layoff as long as you deemed them as unessential.
Just make it sound like what it is.
And I am trying to tell you. We made a motion in this court to do a voluntary layoff until June 1st. You extended that layoff on your own till June or July 6th without court approval. I'm just saying we cut all these expenses, all these cuts from other departments and all that to make this budget work. We just need to realize that, in my opinion, that we need to concentrate on priorities like our road system, which we've had to cut because everybody knows we get 1 mile blacktop this year. I mean, we just need to prioritize our spending, and I don't think three parking spaces, spending thousands of dollars on it, when we could have used that money in road system. That's just my opinion.
But the money it's different, it's two different pools of money.
They come out of the general fund.
Yes.
I understand that.
Road work comes out of the road fund,
It also comes out of, don't general fund give money to the road fund?
out of occupational tax.
Yeah.
And it's
I'm
set at the beginning of the year.
I'm just
in
saying,
the budget.
priority rise. We just need to think, if we're cutting the budget, we need to make sure that our money is being used for priority items, like our,
Families are not priorities.
I'm not saying that, I'm saying, in this situation, we need to concentrate on taking care of and not going above and beyond and not spending money on items that isn't a priority right now. So, we just need to watch our budget. If the money's there at the end of the year, that's fine and all that's good, but I'm just making a point that we need to watch our budget and watch our spending.
Okay, well, I appreciate you voicing your opinion there. I feel like the rest of the court appreciates our park and what we're doing there.
It's nothing, I appreciate what the park is doing right now, but do we need to spend additional money this time of the year when we're dealing with a pandemic?
Let's take
That's
a
my
vote and
question.
see. We have a motion and a second to approve the bill list.
Well, I'm going to vote for the bill list, but I'm just bringing up my concerns about the spending habits right now.
Question?
Further
Question.
Further
I'm ready to
discussion?
vote.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. All right, Joan?
Yes. The next item I have is the bill list for July. First month, fiscal year is already over.
Motion.
Motion by Wilson,
Second.
second by Strunk. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed?
Okay. The next item, let me skip the quarterly for just a second because it's going to take just a minute. The next item would be a budget transfer. It is the one that we discussed last week, that Mark brought up for moving the $70,000 from contingent in the fire fund to the departmental grants.
Motion.
Motion by Ranshaw,
Second.
second by Turpin. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And this is not on your agenda, but I do need to add it. It's something that, and I apologize that it wasn't originally on the agenda, but I thought of it about 1 o'clock this morning. I popped up and went and made myself notes. These are fund transfers. 3 of them will be for when we balance the occupational tax fund out and make that disbursement. And the other is to, is the budgeted amount, a budget allotment from the fire fund to the newly opened account for emergency relief.
Motion.
Motion by Ranshaw,
Second.
second by Turpin. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, the last item I do have is the financial statement quarterly for ending June 30th of 2020. It is the fourth quarter, therefore I am required to kind of summarize it by reading the summary sheet to you. I'll start with general fund. Total receipts are $14,707,420.18. Total claims allowed, total expenses, $532,035.64 for an ending cash balance of $175,384.54. The road fund receipts would be $7,044,548.90. Total claims, $6,432,534.54 for an ending cash balance of $612,014.36. Jail fund, total receipts, $4,771,637.41. Total claims, $4,645,033.57 for ending cash balance of $126,603.84. The LGEA fund, total receipts are $450,236.34. Total claims, $311,889.13 for an ending cash balance of $138,347.21. The grant fund, total receipts were $635,048. Total claims allowed were $425,000 for an ending cash balance of $210,048. Fire fund, total receipts were $4,076,655.91. Total claims allowed were $3,213,496.80 for an ending cash balance of $863,159.11. The industrial development fund, of course, we closed that out. Total receipts were $2,144.37. Total claims were $2,144.37 for a zero cash balance and a closed account. The 911 fund, total receipts were $1,931,380.38. Total claims, $1,819,829.90 for an ending cash balance of $111,550.48.
be your pleasure with the
Motion to accept it.
Second.
a motion by Strunk, a second by Wilson. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, and we do, we'd like to go into executive session to discuss a couple of real estate items here, one for Martin and one for Stephen,
One personnel issue.
and one personnel issue. Okay. So we have two real estate issues and a personnel issue to discuss.
Motion to go in executive session.
Second.
Motion by Strunk and a second by Wilson. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
You don't have no
Motion.
We have a motion to come out of executive session. Do we have a second? Second. All in favor? No opposed? Gentlemen, you're ready. All right, we have concluded our executive session. We had several real estate and personnel issues discussed there, but we are now out of executive session, and no action was taken. No further business to conduct today, and I entertain a motion to adjourn our court meeting.
Motion.
A motion by Wilson,
Second.
second by Strunk. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?